For the second consecutive week in a row, I'm back. I'm back here. Not only am I back here, but I'm back here on your favorite sports podcast, none other than the Sports Bros podcast. Be live. I think this old left gauge was getting a little bit better. It's not as red, it's not as crazy as it was, but I'm wearing these shades because blue lights and everything. And you know what, man, we're not gonna do no shades today. How about that? We're not gonna do no shades.
All right.
I just made an executive decision to hell with it. I don't want to be over here looking like Chad Ochocinco on nightcap. But I can't be babying this eye. This eye got, hey, you gotta get out here and walk. Get off them training wheels. But nevertheless, man, had an appointment this morning. The eye's doing better, and pretty soon we'll get off some of this here medicine. And I'm about to be back. I'm about to be back better than ever. So shout out to everybody who's been thinking about me, praying for me, doing nice stuff for me. I love you now more than ever. Of course, you know me. I'm Eddie Cool, the HOC here at the Sports Post Podcast. And I know y'all tired of me talking already. Be live. You might as well call this day cap because we all kind of run this like Uncle Shannon and Ocho, because it's two of us. Scotty D, he's on assignment all over Western Pennsylvania, covering high school sports, doing what he does best. So shout out to the money man. We miss you. And bring your ass back soon. Come back soon. All right. With that being said, he's not the other guy. He is also my host, like I said last week, because I don't want to do this co-host thing. My host also joining me down there in Fayetteville, North Carolina, manning the ship, El Capitan. He is the almighty Beeline.
What's happening? What's going on in the world today? Man, we are in the thick of things when we're talking about the NBA playoffs, the NHL playoffs, Stanley Cup, Lord Stanley's Cup, and man, oh man, I love every bit of baseball. Freaking, I don't know if you can see the A on the chest.
I
The
see that.
best team in all of baseball, man. I am loving every bit of it. Man, oh man. And like you already alluded to, can't kick it over to the other guy. Can't introduce the other guy because he is on assignment. Scotty D, we miss you, brother. But yeah, hey, we're staying busy out here in these streets, man, doing what
Mhm.
it do. All of us working in the sports industry, doing what we love. And man, I love it for each one of us. And as we continue to pursue our careers, hey, a lot of this started right here.
Yeah.
This is episode 341 of the Sports Bros podcast. And man, it has paid off in dividends. Next thing we're going to be working on. We're working on getting a little advertising situationals and promoting some brands and,
Mhm.
making a little moolah and getting spreading our podcast love. Oh, yes, yes. But yeah, that's what's happening. But yeah, Eddie Cool, I feel like let's just go ahead and jump into it because you were at a playoff game yesterday. So man, let's just
Yeah.
jump into you. Hey, I'm gonna pass it back over to you. I'm over here trying to take over the show or whatnot. But you know how we do it. Let's get it.
It's all good, man. With that being said, let's go ahead and hop right into it. The top of the order.
All right, let's get this thing top of the order.
Yes, B Live, you are right. I had the opportunity to attend the Eastern Conference semifinal game between the home team, Cleveland Cavaliers, and the visiting Detroit Pistons. All right. Detroit coming into the series leading 2-1 versus the Cavaliers, but the Cavaliers say, hey man, hold up. Wait a minute. We're not about to be an easy out like you think we are. Um, because once people saw the matchup, everybody was like, how is this going to entail? How is this going to turn out? How is this like what are we doing? Like how is this going to turn out? Are the Cavs going to show up? Which version of James Harden are we going to get? Are the bigs going to do everything? Well, I would say this: it took a Donovan Mitchell scoring 39 points in the second half, going crazy, going wild as the Cavs tie up the series by beating the Detroit Pistons, who are going back to Detroit, 112 to 103. The game started out kind of slow, of course, but as always, the Cavs found a way to make it found a way to make it happen. Now, B Live, over the years, I've been very critical about James Harden. right? I've been very critical about James Harden. Am I gonna take it back? No, not as much. But to see him in person, you got to see him in person. How he, dances with the ball, playing ISO ball, putting it up. I mean, like the first quarter, James Harden. Oh, he was going off. He was putting that thing in the, he was putting it in there. He was putting it in, and it wound up being a real good game, man. It got tied. I think it was like 50, 56, 53 in favor of the Pistons. And then after that, Donovan Mitchell said, "Hey, man, hold my beer. I'm finna light it up." And light it up is exactly what he did, man. That's another guy you got to see play in person as well, too, Donovan Mitchell. And then you also had Sam Merrill chipping in as well, too, with a couple 3-pointers. I'm looking at Detroit, and I was like, man, they really held what that boy name is. I'm about to blank his name. Cunningham.
Yeah,
They held Cade Cunningham in check for a while. It took Duran a while to get going, but coming off the bench, man, Karis LeVert, I think he had like 23 or 24 off the bench. Be live.
yeah.
But yeah, but it still wasn't enough for the Pistons to defeat the Cavaliers. Be live sent me a text. He said, "Why Donovan Mitchell got to be so mean?"
I'm trying to tell you, man. I was like, yo, my man was going ham in the second half. I was watching the game. And you know me, I'm over here sipping on a little some. I'm like, yo, my best friend at the game. He's at this game. I was like, ooh. Then man, they came out the gate the second half with a 22-0 run. I was like, uh
Yeah.
oh. Yep. And then my boy Tristan, diehard Detroit Pistons fan, I was like, yeah, see what had happened was. So man, but I predicted that Cleveland was going to beat Detroit in this
Hmm.
series, and then freaking then I watched Detroit win the first two games at home, and now Cleveland's won their two games at home. So I mean, if it goes the way it's going right now, Detroit wins in seven. But will somebody steal one? Will somebody steal one? And that's how this series is going to be. I still don't trust James Harden at all. I mean, he didn't do too bad, but I mean, he still didn't shoot that well, 5 of 14 shooting.
Hmm.
But he did hit some timely 3 pointers. And man, but Donovan Mitchell took over the game and said, you know what? Don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
Don't even worry about it. I got it, man. So, man, playoff basketball, it is where it's at, and I love every bit of it. Again, playoff basketball, I feel like it's real basketball. This is stuff that we see during the regular season, teams scoring 140, 150 points, shooting up 50, 63 pointers. I mean, Cleveland did go 14 for 41. They threw up a lot of 3 pointers.
Ooh, boy, clank, cold, air ball. I'm like, come on. Come on, man.
Detroit went 10 to 20. They played definitely way more conservative. But I mean, at the end of the day, Cleveland takes game four. We go back to Detroit for game five. Now, I pose a couple of questions for you when it comes to the NBA playoffs.
Mm.
Is all of this a moot point? Because OKC is just they now they're 8-0 in the playoffs.
Yeah.
They're the reigning defending champions. Are we like is all of the we you went to a good game and everything? We talked all about the is it for who and for what? If OKC just go keep doing what they're doing, like
As they sweat the Lakers. Oh, we gonna get in a second. Be live. You remember a certain quartet, a comedic quartet, got together and toured up and down the United States.
mm,
That quartet consisted of Cedric the Entertainer, Bernie Mac, Steve Harvey, and D.L. Hughley.
the Kings. We gonna
The,
go see the Kings.
yeah, not the Kings, but the Kings of comedy. One particular city stood out, Charlotte, North Carolina, with Boogie and the Jacket and Steve Harvey and all that. And then Steve Harvey, during his set, says something very profound about the movie Titanic.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Harvey said, "Who in the hell gonna go see this long, dry ass movie? Hell, we know what's gonna happen, so bring on
And
the
on the
water."
water.
Yeah, wrap this shit up. Let's go.
Oh,
Yeah, but be like, in the words of Steve Harvey, hell, bring on the water. We know what's about to happen because looking at the East, we got New York. They broke out the broom against Philly. Hey man, Joel Embiid is as good as gone now. I don't care what's going on. Just blow the whole team up. I mean, you got Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, build around that, and then you got to get Embiid up out of it because it just ain't. It's oil and water. It ain't mixing.
Right.
Um, so from what it looks like, we look like we might have New York versus Detroit in the in the Eastern Conference Finals. Meanwhile, the Thunder they goose egg the Lakers and they win the series 4-0, and then they await the winner of the San Antonio and Minnesota series, which is tied at 2-2. Real quick about San Antonio, if you take Wemby out of the equation, San Antonio is just a regular ordinary team because Wemby makes that team better. Although Ant-Man is starting to get healthy, and you can't count them Timberwolves out. If one thing I learned about the Timberwolves, they are tough. Hey, if you don't believe me, ask Nikola Jokic. Want to run up in somebody's face, but then he got his collar up by his ears. Like, look, man, you 9 feet tall, but you look ears like this. I don't know what they teach you over there, but you can't be running up on nobody like that
Right.
without thinking something gonna happen. They're gonna take your collar and they see it's like this collar grabbing. Now, when you grab it and getting it turned, you at a disadvantage because you can't do nothing. You
Right.
checked up. But I think saying because Wimby got ejected from the last game for elbowing, right? Nas Reed
Yeah.
in the face. It was errant. He didn't mean it was like, hey man, you get that ball, you got to back up off me. You got to back up off me. And then, with him being 9 foot tall, you know, that elbow drops at Nas Reed's height and Nas Reed eats the elbow. And I'm surprised um he knows what day of the week it is, but Wemby gonna come back. Wemby gonna raise hell for the rest of the series. Um, but OKC just can't be stopped, be live.
I don't I don't see anybody getting in their way. Minnesota's a fun team to watch. San
Mm,
Antonio with Wemby is great for basketball, but it really yeah, OKC. The Knicks sweeping and they're waiting. They're gonna be waiting a little bit themselves, but it'll be interesting to see who comes out of the East.
mm.
But they're going to be facing OKC, and we're witnessing something great. But yeah, we shall see. We got game fives coming up. I think we get Minnesota San Antonio tonight,
Mm.
and then Wednesday we're back at it with Cavaliers and Pistons for game five. So yeah, playoff basketball. That's where it's at, man. I'm glad you got a chance to go see the game live.
It was great. It
Man.
was fun.
Oh man, oh man.
Yeah.
One of these days I'm gonna get my life together and I'm gonna go see a live NBA game. Got make the short trip to Charlotte, the
Yeah.
Queen City, see my Hornets, man. I just want to feel one of those games because from everything I've been seeing on TV, the Hornets games are lit.
Yeah, from what I'm seeing, I'm over here like I
Yeah,
got to get down there. I got to get down there.
trying to tell you, but yeah. Speaking of lit atmospheres when it comes to
Hold on, be like real quick. I want to bring this up real quick.
yeah, go ahead.
Um, the draft lottery just happened recently in the NBA, and the Washington Wizards secured the number one overall pick. All right, Jazz number two, Memphis number three, Chicago Bulls number four. What the hell the Wizards gonna do?
Well, screw it. They'll probably pick the best player, but it still won't make a bit of difference because they'll this I mm,
Yeah,
I
even with Trey Young and street clothes. I mean,
I have not seen a breath of fresh air from the Washington Wizards in ever. Sorry, Joey Buckets, but yeah, just oh,
yeah, it's just
um,
yeah. We were trying to be nice and everything. So speak before we get to that lit team in that next sport, eight straight. The top 10 picks draft lottery goes like this: Wizards number one, Jazz two, Grizzlies three, Bulls four, Clippers via the Pacers at five, The Nets at 6, the Kings at 7, Atlanta via the Pelicans at 8, Mavericks 9, and Bucks 10. So yeah, look like BYU's AJ the Monster might be that boy. He might be that number one dude. So you got him, and you also got Darren Peterson from Kansas, Cameron Boozer from Duke, and Caleb Woodson from North Carolina. Be Live, one of my personal favorites, Darius Acuff. Yeah,
He is that dude. But I think AJ gets that number one slot. I just think he was lights out for
yeah.
BYU, and see him on the next level.
Because somebody's like, man, he get this. Somebody said if he go to Washington, man, slide him, man, that's 20 points right there. So we shall see about AJ. The Bonster. I finally got his name right. I was like, what is it? That Banster? Diamond Stanner? Yeah, whatever. I finally got it right now. It's AJ the Bonster. But be like that team that's on fire. 8 straight. Talk about them.
Oh man, the NHL playoffs, that Lord Stanley's Cup, and it just 8 in a row for the hometown team. Rallywood stand up sound the alarm. The Carolina Hurricanes are playing 0 games, man. I'm telling you, woo! I'm loving what I see. And bruh, like I'm Freddie Anderson is just a different dude.
Yep.
Man, he was a whole liability during the regular season. And freaking my boy Brandon came through, and Brandon Bussy, he said, "You don't even worry about it. I got you during the regular season, but during the playoffs, it's been Freddie Anderson. Like, what is going on,
Yeah.
man? You got to go. You got to go with the hot hand. Like, I hope at some point in time we do get Bussy in, just like, hey, get your reps because I don't want you to go
Mm-hmm.
cold. We might need you, my boy.
Mm-hmm.
But man, oh man, I'm loving this right here. And right now, the way it looks like the Canadians and Sabres going to go deep. So we're going to be resting a while. The Canadians are up 2-1 on Buffalo. They're pretty much, if you look at both their slates, they're pretty much neck and neck during the regular season. So this
Mm-hmm.
series could go either way. Now, am I rooting for Buffalo because it seemed like the Canadians did have my Hurricanes number during the regular season? Maybe, but I mean, the playoffs are just a different breed.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different ball game, and I'm loving what I see from the Hurricanes. And then, unfortunately, the Colorado Avalanche, they keep winning. They're up 3-1 in their series. So that's the only team if the Avalanche went to the Stanley Cup with against the Hurricanes, the Avalanche would have home ice advantage.
And
But
Colorado's they tough. Boy, they tough.
uh, Minnesota Wild shows they show some grit. They show
Mm-hmm.
some. Ain't mad at, but yeah, Colorado is tough, and so we got a couple more games to watch. Like I say, you got the Anaheim Ducks versus the Vegas Golden Knights, and the Sabres Canadiens. See how that series ends up, and again at the Avalanche come close out. But as of right now, my Hurricanes are just waiting, twiddling thumbs.
I just don't want us to get rusty, be live. I just don't want us to get too like rest can do one or two things.
Mm-hmm.
Heal everything and make everybody better. Especially if you come into like the playoff, because in all sports at this time of year, ain't nobody healthy.
Right, right.
Ain't nobody healthy. So what you have to realize is the break can do either one or two things. You get the adequate amount of rest that you need for your players that are injured so they can come back and be full strength and give you more depth and have a big advantage in the playoffs. Because let's face it, hockey is, if you look at all the playoffs, this is the most challenging playoffs out of all of them. Nothing against
Yeah.
baseball, nothing against basketball, nothing against other sports, but hockey is something that you got to think now. You're skating, 25, 30 miles an hour. You got 50 pounds of equipment on. You're getting beat up. It's hockey players have my respect. I ain't gonna lie to you. They have my absolute respect. So
I was watching the Colorado Minnesota game last night. Dude got hit in the nose, in the mouth with a flying puck.
mm,
The bleeding bust open and everything, and the trainer came on with a towel. He got him, escorted him off the ice. Beginning of the third period, he's right back on the ice. I'm like, well, dang, hockey
yeah.
players are just built different. So I mean, man,
Mm,
that's I love playoff hockey. I honestly believe out of all of postseason sports, I think playoff hockey is my favorite.
yeah.
It is my favorite to watch, and it makes it even better that my team is in it. And, like it's tough to watch when your team ain't in it, but
Yeah.
yeah, playoff hockey is a beautiful thing, and for all the teams that are still in it, I'm watching as much as I can. But yeah, we have to wait from the Hurricanes. I'm going to say, and I will say this publicly. Thank you to the Carolina Hurricanes for sweeping, because if that would have went to a game five would have been Monday, would have been yesterday night, and I would have spent the money.
You
I
would have
would
did it.
I would have absolutely spent the money and went to that game. There, without a shadow of doubt in my mind, I'd have been right there. Now I gotta wait and see when and how I could do it, because I think I have to make a playoff game. I have to do it. Not
Mm,
just it's a matter of when the next game is, because I want to be there for game one of the Eastern Conference Finals.
yeah. Be Live, something that just popped up. I was like, we got anything else to talk about? Yeah, before we go to our favorite portion of the show, Be Live, guess what comes out this week?
What comes out?
This
Oh
Thursday.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. The NFL schedule release.
NFL schedule. I got to have it.
Yeah, I mean,
Release
right. I mean, right now we know our opponents, but we don't know, the
when.
times and when and where. And do we got to go across the water this year? Please tell me we don't.
I don't think we do this year. I don't think there was anything on our schedule for overseas, but I do know for sure there are a couple big games that I'm trying to go see.
Mm,
um, Detroit, because a very passionate friend to the show, my man Tristan.
mm.
He's a Detroit Lions fan. We talk trash to each other all the time, so I want to make it a purpose that me and him go to that game. And then Baltimore, the Ravens are coming to Charlotte. And you know who was just recently drafted to the Baltimore Ravens? Myrtle Beach's very own Adam Randall.
Yep,
My
Adam Randall.
boy, my
Yep.
boy. Oh yeah, Clemson, yes sir. All roads lead to Dabo, and my man is drafted. And I hope that he makes the roster. I'm rooting for him, and that will be a game. If like I said, I honestly have no doubt in my mind that he will make the roster. The kid is uber talented, running
Mm.
back and wide receiver. I think he's gonna make a statement. He's gonna make the roster, and I hope to get a chance to see him in a Ravens uniform during the regular season. So those are definitely games that are marked on my calendar once the calendar is released.
Uh, you forgot a certain team right up the street from me plays the Panthers one more time this year. The
Ooh,
Cleveland.
the
Cleveland,
Browns?
yeah, the Browns. You might have to come to Ohio twice this year, be like, because the Hall of Fame game in Canton and
That
then the regular season game in Cleveland. I think it's going to be Cleveland. I think it's going to be here. I think it's
yeah,
here.
I think it is here. I was in my mind thinking of the games in Charlotte, but yeah, that is correct. The mundo. So yeah, I need that schedule in my life because I need to space these things out because these
Yeah.
things are not cheap.
Yeah. See, we like to plan things, we like to make things happen. None of this spur of the moment mess, man. That way we can get the sports bros on the road one more again, one more time. Well, be like that does it for the first half of this here podcast. Looking at my almost said something would have got us in trouble. Looking at my phone because I've yet to get a watch. Guess what time it is?
What's happening? What's going on?
Man, I'm glad you asked this time once again for our favorite portion of the show, the choices of the voices. That being said, button, hit it. Choices of the voices coming at you. Stick stay, don't you dare go away. your favorite sports podcast, the Sports Bros Podcast. See you in 2 and 2.
And now, our favorite part of the show, the choices of the voices.
to the wonderful and
For so
so lovely Miss Button for introducing our favorite portion of the show, the choices of the voices. When we ask you the question, you give us an answer, and depending on if you participate or not, well, you know what? If you participate or not, we're gonna read it. But just always remember, if you don't correspond to what we ask you, where do you go?
the penalty box.
To the sin bin he goes. All right. So with Scotty D not being here, um, be live. What's the topic for this week's choices of the voices?
All right. Well, as we already mentioned earlier in the show, that we are in the thick of the NBA postseason, and a lot of debates come up when it comes to the postseason, and some of us have lived through a lot of eras. So we
Mhm.
decided to ask our listeners, our voices, which decade did you most enjoy watching the NBA postseason? From the Bird Magic 80s to the present decade, where no team is yet to repeat. We asked you to pull out a decade and tell us why it was or is your favorite to take in the NBA postseason.
All
And
right.
so we had a few answers. We had a few answers. And then I had a debate. And guess what I said I was going to do when we had that little debate on Facebook. And we here now on my show,
Live
and we're gonna talk about it.
in your face.
Oh
All right.
yeah.
All right. So here we go. John Wasik, he says, I'm an 80s/90s guy. My favorite guy in the 80s was James Worthy, who doesn't get the credit he deserves. You know what? He right. But when you're
That,
on a team, like the Lakers, man, you got Magic, Kareem, Michael Cooper, and it's easy to get buried in that. But we can't forget about James Worthy, man. Then he says, Jordan, Ewing, and the Dream were all my favorites in the '90s.
and
Two of
so
those,
there,
two of those three guys won 6 championships. But anyways,
and so in the midst of that answer, I had to inform him that he was cheating a little bit because
he
he
cheated.
said two different decades. I'm like, come
Mhm.
on, you gotta pick one. And so what did he go? What he did he go with after I made him pick?
He says, I'm gonna go with the '90s. That's a good decade. The last decade, I really watched the game. I would also like to add Clyde the Glide Drexler.
Oh yeah, another very very underrated player.
Yeah.
And when he mentioned James Worthy, people tend to forget because everybody always remembers Michael Jordan and da da
Mhm.
da. And when we're talking about the North Carolina Tar Heels, I will tell anybody and everybody that James Worthy was the best player on that
On that
championship
team.
team.
Yes, he
He was the
was.
best player on that championship team, not Michael Jordan.
Mm-mm.
And people forget that. And so him mentioning James Worthy, absolutely, absolutely underrated and top talent when it comes to the 80s and what he did for that Lakers team. But yeah, he mentions that he's going with the 1990s, the dominance of Michael Air Jordan, Clyde Drexler, a person that didn't get to eat because of one Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Oof.
And then you had Detroit basketball at the beginning of the decade.
Mm-hmm.
You had Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon taking the Houston Rockets when Jordan decided to take a break.
Yeah.
And man, the '90s, yeah, I definitely hats off to John Washik for that answer.
So wise. Yeah, man. Be like the '90s. It was. Oh my. It was fun. It was fun. It was fun. Um. Yeah. Hakeem Olajuwon was already a star, in Houston, but he became a star globally, nationally when he won those 2 championships. Man, that team, man, with Mad Max, Vernon Maxwell, man. Come on, man. I'll cuss you out in a minute. You had Mad Max. You had Mario Ellie. You had the toughness of Otis Thorpe. You had Carl Herrera. You had Kenny the Jet Smith. I mean, you had I'm missing some Clyde when he was there, man. That team was loaded.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And remember, never underestimate the heart of a champion, Rudy Tom Jonovich. I didn't know he coached the Lakers for a little bit during the late '90s, early 2000s. But yeah. All right. Leslie Cox, she says OKC Thunder, circa 2025.
She is a diehard Oklahoma State
Yeah,
fan, and
we gonna
so
yeah,
what
we
I
gonna have it.
I will give her the benefit of the doubt
Mm.
and just say she's going with the current era right now because she's seeing her team shine right now. But she didn't quite answer the question. But I'm going to give her a pass this time
Mm.
because I mean we're we encourage fandom. We encourage it.
Yeah.
We're about a fan for the fan. So we'll allow it this time. But you
Who
getting cold.
who's her football team? She got a football team?
I, that is information that Scott has. I'm pretty sure I am not privy to that information,
Mm.
but we'll
Cause
figure
I
it out.
cause I knew Leslie was she's wild about somebody.
Right, right.
We was like, they ain't gonna do nothing, but you wild about them. Okay, come on, fandom. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All right, super agent himself, Joel Turner. We got to have Joel. We got to have you back on the podcast. We got to have you back on here sooner rather than later. He said, I have not watched the NBA in 25 years or more. After their 2020 stunt, I will never watch them again ever. I think he's referring to the bubble.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The question, unfortunately, Mr. Super Agent,
we
if you
love you.
haven't if you haven't watched the NBA in 25 years, how'd you watch them in 2020?
It's the only thing on TV. That's why.
Hmm. Sorry, you did not answer the question. So off to the penalty box. I hate to do it to you, but sir, if you haven't watched it in 25 years, that means you can pick the 80s, the 90s, the 70s. There was a lot of decades before 25 years from now. We get it. You don't like the new age sport. That does not mean that you don't get away from answering what we asked, sir.
We need us a rollcast to be like so I can play the penalty box music.
I could actually do that if you know what? I might actually take the time and insert that into my
I'm gonna find you some sound effects.
because
My favorite sound effect is to do fire. That's my sound effect right
bro,
there.
when I tell you that, because Eddie, that's what I do for the woodpeckers.
I know, yeah.
And, man, I be hitting them with it, and so I added two new sound effects
Mm,
on one like whenever like on one whenever like the opposing team is in a deep pitch count, like if they're batting and they're down 0-2, or if they're pitching and they're down 3-0, or sometimes I hit them with the sonic drowning music. Dun, 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 dun.
boom. Yeah.
I hit him, and then Mother's Day, I had to hit him with the Stewie from Family Guy. Mommy,
I mean,
come on,
um,
come on,
um,
come on, mommy.
I would love to see the faces in the crowd. I'm like, this is hilarious. Didn't you play Let Them Know at one game? And this one guy's like, they're playing Let Them Know.
Oh yeah,
Okay, yeah.
yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, the world's worst DJ, DJ B live.
Oh man, it
Proud
is.
of, proud of you, brother. I'm gonna tell you how about this? I'm gonna give you flowers real quick, be live. From episode one up until now, there's been nothing but growth, and I'm effing proud of you, bro. Almost cussed on the air, but I'm proud of you,
I
man. I
appreciate it.
really and truly am, man. All right, so let's see. We got Rob Craig, MJ.
And Rob Craig, guess what? PB. Penalty box. That we didn't ask who your favorite player was. We asked what decade. Now here's the thing. Here's the thing, Mr. Rob Craig, MJ. What if we took from that you were saying the 1980s when he came up and he got swept in the first round of the playoffs?
Got
It
beat up by the Celtics.
couldn't get past the Celtics. Couldn't get past
Past
Detroit.
Detroit.
Like you got. That's why when we ask questions, we need specifics. We can allude and assume that you
Mm,
mean the '90s when MJ was dominant, but you see how quickly we can go. Things can go sideways when you don't give us particulars. Because MJ in the '80s was a bad dude,
yeah.
averaging at one point 37 points a game as a young buck, and
Yeah.
just didn't have anything to what's the word? I love.
Complimentary.
Yeah, there it is. That's the word I was looking for. That's the one.
That's that.
And
That's that. Hey, that's that UAGC of Global Campus Education paying off.
that's what I'm saying. I know that was the word I was going, but man, boy, my
Mm.
brain said nope. You ain't got it. We that was exactly what I was going for. Complimentary pieces.
They said the word's too big. Don't worry about it.
Oh man, but yeah, MJ in the '90s. Yeah, I'm gonna give you that. But Rob Craig, yeah, PB, penalty bots.
And no,
Answer
we
the
don't mean
question.
peanut butter. Be like peanut butter sound really good right about now.
Oh boy.
Let me get myself together here as I adjust my chair. Because I was looking real short there for a second, looking real turtles. All right, Martin Tracy, be live. You got to help me out because the eyes are about good, and he gave me a whole articles. Here we go. Martin Tracy said, "My teenage years growing up in Boston in the '80s." Oh, I said Boston like they said Boston. Oh,
Boss.
Boston. From Boston, Boston in the '80s. Looking back was something that I feel fortunate to have witnessed firsthand. You're right about that. It was my favorite decade for many things, but especially for the decade of Bird and Magic, sprinkled in with Dr. J, Moses Malone, and the 76ers. The Detroit Pistons bad boys, plus the emergence of MJ, the '84 Lakers and Celtics Game 7 series was crazy. The change Bird and Magic brought to the game was only surpassed by Michael Jordan making the '80s the most important decade for bringing the NBA to where it is today.
He ain't told not one lie.
Valid point.
Yeah, that's it.
Valid
That,
as
that
hell. Yeah.
that rivalry between Larry Bird and Magic Johnson there's you can't. I don't think it's ever been replicated. We tried to, but I mean from college to the pro level, like
Yeah.
what's that? What they call Larry Bird or the hick from the hick from
Hit from
French
French
Lick?
Lick. Yeah.
Man, and he went to where did he go to Indiana State and
Yep.
Magic went to Michigan State.
Yep. A Sycamore, and I forgot what conference they played in versus the Spartans of the Big Ten.
Man, but that was storybook.
Mm.
And then for Larry to go to Boston and Magic going to L.A. just and those two franchises were already rivals, and then you add that element.
Oof.
Uh,
Yeah.
that was yeah. There's not one lie told by Matty Ice. Not one lie at all.
Beat Boston, beat LA. Beat Boston, beat LA. Yeah, that's how it was. Um, yeah, man. Yeah, Matty Ice, man. Can't deny that one. All right. So Mike Anthony, he said early '90s and 2000s.
'90s and early 2000s.
I'm
So
sorry, I can't read B Live. I just got
it's
my
a
eye fixed. Yeah.
it's all
Um,
right. But
yeah.
I think what he is trying to allude to, he wants to include the Kobe and Shaq
Shaq Lakers.
Lakers,
Hmm.
that three-peat, because so we essentially because you have three different three-peats in that time frame.
Yep.
Now you cutting it close because I mean we said a decade, but we'll sort of allow because you were pretty specific in what you're and I mean and I am assuming when you mentioned early 2000s you want to throw in that third three-peat, but I'm here for it now.
Oh.
The moment we've all been waiting. I did not put it in. I did not put our discussion in the notes, but I got it right here in the brain. What my cousin wanted to come on our post and talking all the trash. Please,
Tim Livingston said all of them. So B Live, how long has the NBA been around?
the NBA has been around for quite some time, and so
Didn't it just celebrate a 75th anniversary?
that absolutely been
How old is Tim?
he not 75,
B Live, the floor is yours.
sir. Sir, cousin,
Cool,
cousin,
cool, 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 cool. Hey,
cousin.
cool. Hey, cool. Come here, cool.
I get what you're trying to say. That the overall NBA is great, the history behind it, all the things is to be celebrated. And you wanted even to go further with making the point of that. Oh, if you make a choice, make a decision, you're denigrating another. No, this is what has happened in this new age society that we live in now. Why can't we celebrate our thing, what I like, without dumbing down or saying that, oh well, I'm right, you're wrong. We can both be right. We can I can you can like the 90s and I can like the 80s and we
Mhm.
both can be right. It's okay. And then somehow, cuz you turned this into a LeBron is the GOAT debate. How? I know why you did it because you know where I stand. I'm not going to acknowledge LeBron James as the GOAT. I will not and I never will. Because you want to know why I won't? Because way too many times LeBron doesn't take over games when he should. He becomes passive. He doesn't have that dog, that killer instinct. That it will always and forever be my argument as to why LeBron James will never be the GOAT in my eyes. Now let me make this perfectly clear.
Clear.
LeBron James is in the top 5 all time in my book. He is an absolute legend in the game. In certain things, second to none. He has achieved that. He is one of the greatest to have ever set foot on the hardwood. That does not mean, just because I don't acknowledge him as the GOAT, that does not mean that he's not great. Stop with this argument. Now the internet freaking community is losing their mind because, oh well, LeBron's 41 and you still expect him to carry your team. No, none of us do. But every time one of LeBron's fans try to say that he's the greatest, guess what? He's still on the court. So if you claim him to be the greatest of all time, he's still on the court and he's going to get critiqued because some people don't consider him the GOAT. And so guess what? As a Jordan fan, Kareem is my GOAT. Mind you, I want to make sure it's perfectly clear. Kareem
Mhm.
is my GOAT. Kareem is dominated on every single level. High school champion, college champion, multiple champion,
Unstoppable.
three
Unstoppable.
time college champion, 6-time NBA champion. This man is like, and I don't even know how many times he won in high school, but he has at least 10 championship rings.
Mhm.
At least 10. A lot of people like to put Bill Rupp. No, Kareem dominated every level, 60s, 70s, and 80s. He dominated and he won.
The captain.
LeBron James just passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in points. You know how he passed him in points? Because he lasted long. That does not make him the GOAT. It's what you do with the time that you're on the court. And guess what? All this longevity he's done has not produced more championships. That's the ultimate goal. And yes, it's a team sport. But guess what? Your ultimate player, when it comes to the greatest of all time, have to achieve the most at the highest level. That's why Kareem is my goal. That's why a lot of people consider Michael Jordan as their goal. Because they won. They won more. They did more with less time. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had the longevity, but also had the titles with him. Now you're trying to dumb it down and say, oh, well, LeBron James went to 10 straight NBA finals. Congratulations. But when you only win 4 of them, that's not I mean, it's good. It's
You got
great, but
and
it's not the greatest.
yeah, and hopping sports, you got to think like how many times did Tom Brady go to the Super Bowl?
You know
What
what I'm
was it?
saying? I think he
Nine
went
times
yeah, he went 9 times, but he
and won
won
seven.
7 of them.
That's a very high percentage. Yeah.
And the thing about it is, even with that, it took me a long time to acknowledge Tom Brady as to go because, dude, you had a Joe Montana that was 4-0 in Super Bowls.
Terry Bradshaw. Well,
Yeah, yeah.
no, not Terry Bradshaw. But Joe Montana was that boy. He was
He
that
was
boy.
that. He was that dude. But
Yeah,
I finally did acknowledge Tom Brady as the GOAT because he continued to do it.
yeah.
He won championships with another team at that age. That I was like, you know what? I got at this point in time, bro. Yeah, you got it.
That's you. Can't
But
can't argue. We can't argue that. No
I
point.
would have I would have made that argument this year if LeBron and the Lakers would have won and he would have won a fifth time.
Yeah,
I might have changed my mind.
yeah.
But at this moment in time, like him being swept in against OKC does not tarnish his legacy one bit. People that are talking that mess about LeBron got swept again. I'm not making that argument. They don't know ball. They just out to hate.
LeBron was there. He barely had Austin Reeves, and there
Yeah,
was no Luca.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like at the end of the day, it's a team sport, and
Not making no excuses.
that's what,
Not making no excuses. But you got to think had there would have been a healthy Luca, a healthy Luca and a healthy Austin Reeves all the way through, we talking about a different series now.
no, I think I'll say OKC still sweeps them.
It would have been close though,
It'd
but
have
it
been a
would
little
have.
bit closer.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
Oklahoma City, it would have, but it would have been close though. But Be Live,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and pick my team. Great compelling point. Great compelling
At the end of the day, you're allowed to make a choice
point.
without denigrating the other choices.
Mm-hmm.
You could do that. So Tim, I get what you're trying to say with the whole product is great, but you can make a choice. And so therefore, after it's all said and done, sir, you did not answer the question, and you get to go to the penalty box.
To the sin bin, he go.
One of these days, I might invite you on this show, and we can have this. We can have this debate live.
Yeah.
And
A lot of y'all been wanting to come on this here podcast. Guess what? Y'all about to have your lucky day real soon.
Eventually we're going to get our life together over here and actually have a set schedule.
Yeah.
That we do this. But that's the toughest part is like we don't know when we're coming into the week when we're going to be available on Monday or Tuesday.
You should see the group chat. Scotty D, hey man, Monday, that's out the question. Here come Be Live on Tuesday.
No.
Hey, Ed, you got something going on Tuesday? Here come Ed on Monday. Hey, Be Live, I'm good for Tuesday.
we I promise you we'll get you on there. I appreciate the people that reach out or whatever. And we're like I said, we're not going anywhere.
No.
And we want to include more of you on the show. But yes, with Eddie Cool, what say you? What do you have for us? What's your favorite decade?
I'm not saying that just because I live in the area, but after Jordan, I could give less data about basketball. And I was here or there through the early 2000s. You know, I had favorite players such as ISO Joe. That was my dog from Arkansas. ISO Joe was my guy. But after that, came and went. That 2010, the 2019, where LeBron was in the finals. It seemed like every single year. And then that saga, I'm going to go ahead and say it. Golden State versus Cleveland is one of the best all-time sports sagas for a championship in the history of sports. Because you got to look at it. You had a loaded Golden State team, and it was, I think one of the years they were like, what, 73-9?
73-9,
And then
2016, I believe.
Yep, and then I think that's when the Cavs came back and won 3-1.
Yep.
And then you had, and then on the other side of the 73-9 team, you had the Cleveland Cavaliers with Kyrie and LeBron and Kevin Love and the Cavs and a whole host of players, and they messed around. They won the doggone finals. City was on fire up here, not literally, but the city it was on fire, it was going crazy. And then it was a back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. A lot of nights Be Live. I was in front of my TV like this is some good damn basketball. That's what kind of got me back into sport, if we're being honest.
I got you. I can respect that absolutely.
Yeah, that 20 teams run with LeBron and whoever team he was on. Don't matter if it was the Heat, because I think he went to the finals 3 times with the Heat. Won twice, got destroyed by San Antonio. No, they lost to Dallas too, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
no. Yes, of the Heat lost to Dallas. Yep.
Yeah. They beat San Antonio? I thought San Antonio beat them. That's when the emergence of Kawhi Leonard came about.
Yeah, that was Kawhi Leonard Spurs at that time. That I honestly have to look it up,
It's all
but
good because I think he won a few. I think he won twice with Miami. I'm just having a hard time about who he beat, whatever. But that damn Golden State and Cleveland series, you got to find. I mean, be live. It rivals the Celtics and the Lakers of the '80s. It rivals it. I'm hot
yeah.
take, put it out on a limb, but it rivals it. It
Let's
really
see.
does.
So yeah, 2011, the Mavericks beat the Heat.
Okay.
2012, the Heat beat the Thunder.
Yep. He beat the Thunder.
The Heat beat the Spurs in 2013. The Spurs beat the Heat in 2014,
It's one, two,
and
three, four.
and then 2015, Golden State beat Cleveland. 2016, Cleveland beat Golden State. 2017, Golden State beat Cleveland. 2018, Golden State beat Cleveland. 2019, Toronto beat Golden State. And then 2019 was the one year that LeBron didn't make the finals. And then
Yeah.
2020, the bubble year, the Lakers beat the Heat.
So you got to think about Be Live. In parts of 3 decades, the 2000s, the 2012, the 20 teens, and then this one, the man made the finals.
Yeah. And this is what in cuz Tim, if you'd have mentioned the 2010, that'd have been a good argument for your boy, because
Mm.
he was in the finals 9 of the 10 years.
Yeah.
That is quite the impressive run. But yeah,
And then you got the corner. Then you got the corner jokers. Oh, he went 3-6. Shut up.
it's one of those things where yes, LeBron James is one of the greatest to ever have done it. But I'm saying, like, some of those games and some of those series that I mentioned, we needed to see LeBron James take over some of those games. If he'd have won one more of those finals, if he'd have got that dog in him and won one more of those finals and had five in his belt, the argument could absolutely be there. But I've watched too many times that he's just like, yeah, I don't.
All right. All right.
So
All right, be
that's it. But yeah,
yep, be like, who you got, man?
my favorite. It honestly, it has to be the '90s for me,
Mm.
and it's because freaking starting out with the Detroit Pistons, and then the Jordan era, but more or less, I was a big fan of how many guys that during that saga didn't make it. I mean, that are Hall of Famers. You talking about your Karl Malone? I know, but I already know about him and his history, whatever. But when he played basketball, Karl Malone, John Stockton, that was a ridiculous duo,
Mhm.
and they just kept getting denied because Michael Jeffrey Jordan. But you look at your Clyde Drexlers, you look at the latter stages of your Joe Dumars and Isaiah Thomas, Bill Laimbeer of that Detroit team. The Phoenix Suns, Charles Barkley, Dan Marley, freaking those. What am I doing now? I was Johnson. I my brain is
Who?
for the Suns. Like I
Oh,
can't.
Kevin Johnson.
Kevin Johnson. That's what. Yeah,
He dunked. He dunked. He just drug him all
yeah.
across somebody's face.
I was saying your Sean Kemps with the Seattle Supersonics, and man, I could go on and on and on about the players in that era that made basketball wonderful to watch, and all had to bow down to one Michael Jeffrey Jordan. But it
Yep.
was just seeing Michael Jordan live in action. It was poetry in motion. You made a very compelling argument about the 2010 saga. I honorable mention. I'm going to give some love to the 2000s because Mr. Fundamental, Tim Duncan and San Antonio Spurs,
Yes.
that was that the reason why they don't get much love is because they weren't the flash team. And this is one of those things where when people get to talking about GOAT and all this stuff, and even to Tim's argument about how all is great, I would almost make an argument that the 2000s with the San Antonio Spurs and the Los Angeles Lakers throughout that saga and that time and
Mm-hmm.
everything,
Mm-hmm.
the dominance in the West, San Antonio was not the sexiest team.
No.
But it was just fundamentals, and that's where it comes to people really knowing ball. Those are people I could talk to because that was beautiful. Greg Popovich and what he did with that team was masterful. That's what I loved about basketball was seeing the fundamentals and seeing that happen and whatnot. But so that honorable mention 2000s, but like just being real, like I said, the 90s, though, seeing the Bulls, the Pistons, the Suns, the Utah Jazz, the Supersonics, and even seeing Grandmama and my Charlotte Hornets
Wow. Yeah,
on
Larry Johnson.
on Family Matters, freaking
Yeah.
Larry Johnson, Alonzo Mourning, oh man, Del Curry, come on,
Muggsy,
Muggsy, but come on, bro,
Percy Hawkins,
what?
David Wingate.
Man, oh man. 90s, love it, all for it. But yeah, that's what we talk about, baby. That's
I remember watching local TV a long time ago. We believe that the bugs are back. The bugs are back. Oh man, I'm about to cry. Anyways, that about does it. Be live, I think. Do we got time? No, we got to take a break and come right back. That about does it for this. Actually, shout out to everybody in this week's and their participation in this week's choices of the voices. Scotty D is gatekeeping and holding out. So we don't have the choices questions, but we're gonna have it posted sometime during the week.
Oh yeah.
So shout out for everybody and their participation in this week's choices of the voices. Stay tuned. We got the question for next week coming up on our social medias, which you can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, pages. No, I'm joking. I just click the link in the description box. It'll take you everywhere you need to go. So with that being said, Be Live. Let me go ahead and get this pine tar on my belt. I better not tell nobody. Coming up after the break, we got the walk-off shot. Hopefully, we don't miss it. All right. Coming at you right here on Sports Bros Podcast.
And a walk-off home run.
Okay, boys, time to wrap it up. Let's go home with some walk-off shots.
swing for the fences, man, I got to make sure it's in the upper half of the strike zone. Because if it's outside, you be chasing, all right? You don't want to do that. You don't want to chase that, all right? Because if you chase that, you will be looking silly. Trust me. All right. With that being said, you heard the woman. It's time to bring it on home with the walk-off shot. You know how we do it. We take a topic, we talk about it in brief as we go home. All right. So be live before we hit record button and got on air. I did mention that the NFL schedule release will be coming out on Thursday, May the 14th. At 8 p.m. and the announcement will be aired on the NFL Network, ESPN2, and NFL Plus. All right. And of course, in today's society, with the advent of the internet, so people can't keep their damn mouth shut, some things have already been leaked. That's why, look, let me tell you something. I don't like spoilers, okay? You want me to watch the Michael Jackson movie? I'll go to the theater. Don't be sending me no videos and stuff. All right? Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I like surprises still, all right? All right, B-Lab, so let's talk about a few things, some key details and leaks, courtesy of CBS Sports, all right? All right, B-Lab, it's going to be 9 international games, all right? Yeah, we figured that. So let's see. The week 1 season opener pits the defending Super Bowl champions, the Seattle Seahawks, and they will host an opponent on Wednesday. We got us a Wednesday game this year, right? All right, week 1, the Sunday Night Football game is a classic rivalry between the Dallas Cowboys at the New York Football Giants. All right. The week 1 Monday night, we got hey, we started this off the season hot with an AFC West clash as the Denver Broncos hit the road to go to Arrowhead in Kansas City to play the Kansas City Chiefs. All right. Thanksgiving week 12, we got the Eagles versus the Cowboys at Dallas. Let's see, there will be a Rio game on week 3. That's going to be on CBS. Because it's an Australian game. Week 1, the San Francisco 49ers versus the Los Angeles Rams. And yeah, B-Live, that is all I got for the leaks and previews of the NFL schedule league. Hey man, pretty soon it's gonna be training camp. But yeah, we got a week 1 seems to be pretty nice. Then we got our international games. It's good enough. They're going to Australia this year, so
Oh
that should be
wow.
nice. Yeah. Yep.
I need,
Melbourne, Australia. Yep. Week
I,
1.
I need to get my passport. I just realized that sound
I
like
gotta get mine renewed because I just got the email the other day. It's 2 things I gotta get be live. But passport renewed and TSA pre-check.
yes.
Because if you get TSA pre-check,
Right on through.
we don't have time to hang out with the commoners. No, no, I'm not gonna say it, but someone that's close to me, she has it, and I know that it helps with the process of, hey, I gotta be here, I gotta be here. I ain't trying to deal with this, so I gotta be here. TSA
Yeah.
pre-check. I think it's like $85 or something like that. So
All I know is that when I flew to New York with my mom, she has TSA pre-check and she just walk a little silly behind us right up to the front. I'm with the common folk, like, all right, I'll see you when I get up there.
talk about some hold the door, don't let them leave the
Lord Jesus. Oh man.
You gonna help me put my shoes back on? No.
It was cool. It was cool. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna look into that. I definitely want to do more traveling.
Yeah.
But yes.
We got to, man. We got to. We got to.
Get no younger, I promise you that.
No.
Speaking of getting no younger, man. You see the A. You see the A, my third and final pepper point, aka the walk-off shot. It's a somber one. Because man, we took some, even though we are winning in baseball, man, we lost 2 absolute legends of the sport, of the game, and Ted Turner and Bobby Cox in the same week. What is going on, man? But
yeah, really.
Call them on Ted Turner Broadcasting Station, TBS. What made the Atlanta Braves the global national icon that they are, man? Ted Turner, WCW, like,
yeah,
man. CNN, Cartoon Network, TNT, man. He had his finger on the pulse of a lot of things, especially when it came to the city of Atlanta. And man, the Atlanta Braves. Oh man, it, it is what it is. Ted
Yeah,
Turner, he's just that dude, and he leaves a complete legacy. And then 2 days later, Bobby Cox, and man, it's just legendary. Like we he got fired in the '80s, came back in the '90s, and ta-da, Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? And I think the funniest thing happened because right after Bobby Cox passed away, I had a minor league game at my Fayetteville Woodpeckers. We ended up losing the game, but in that game, our skipper, our manager, Carlos Lugo, was arguing like it was the umpires called so many balks, and it was a mess. It was an ugly baseball game, but it ended to the point where Lugo got so fed up. I don't know exactly how it went down, but while one of the guys in the booth with me was like, I think I think our skipper just got kicked out. And sure enough,
uh-oh.
the umpire kicked them out, and I was like, "Yep, that's that Bobby Cox right there. That is he he went to arguing and fussing. He ain't fuss like Bobby Cox because Bobby Cox will
Be
give you
fun. Oh my God.
he would
Oh,
give you a mouthful. Legendary, most times getting thrown out of a game. Bobby Cox, and man, absolute legend, Hall of Fame, all the whole 9 yards. Atlanta Braves, you have to win the World Series this year.
got to.
Because you got to, you absolutely have to. And right now, they're looking good.
Very good.
Do it one time for the late great Bobby Cox.
Yeah. Be Live, did you? I was looking up some information about Ted Turner. Don't you know Ted Turner attended Brown University,
I did not know that.
but he got expelled.
Oh boy, that's
Hey man.
so
Ted Turner said, that's right. I'll just go move to Atlanta and invest some money and I'll go and buy an Atlanta UHF to TV channel and do things like that. But yeah, man, Ted Turner was a big proponent of pro wrestling because you got to think about it, man. He made a lot. I mean, he believed in the product. He believed in the product. So yep. And then you got Bobby Cox was just that damn dude, man. Yeah, he was just that he was just that doggone dude. And what happened? What happened to Bobby Cox where he was like he did something. I think he came back for like to get honor or whatever, and the umpire shook his hand, and then the umpire
yeah.
tapped him on the shoulder and said, "Hey, get your ass, Bobby."
He threw
Got
him
him
out
out.
one last time.
Yeah, man, Bobby Cox is yeah, I'm telling you. Then there's another story. I think correct me if I'm wrong, but I saw it. I guess it was I guess he told somebody one of the pitchers. I don't know if it was Glavine or Smoltz or Maddox. Look, either throw him balls or throw him strikes. They went out there and undermined him, and they said, "Boy, he was fuming." But when he got back to the dugout, he was like, "Good work, kid." Yeah, good old Bobby Cox, man. Yeah, man, Bobby Cox had a long managerial career, man. Not only did he if I'm looking at my stuff here, um yeah, he had two stints with the Braves from 78 to 81, as you mentioned. He was also a player for the New York Yankees from 68 to 69. He managed the Blue Jays from 82 to 85 and came back home in 1990, where he managed the Braves from 90 to 2010. And yep, he's a two-time World Series champion, once in 77 and 95. Four-time manager of the year in 85, 91, 2004, 2005. His numbers retired. He's in the Braves Hall of Fame, and he is a first ballot Hall of Famer, making it in 2014. So shout out to some legends that are Bobby Cox and also Ted Turner. Thank you for everything. We greatly appreciate it because if it weren't for Ted Turner going 6:05 Eastern time on Saturday nights, me and my daddy probably would have never had a bond and watched wrestling. We would have had a bond anyway, but yeah, Ted Turner, you're responsible for a lot of bonds between a lot of father and sons, and yeah, a lot of grandmas loved you as well too. That he did. I just saw something that caught my eye. But yeah, Bobby Cox got ejected a lot, but yeah, it makes you feel good when you got a manager that's gonna fight for you,
Oh
wrong or
yeah.
right, right or wrong.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
but I don't like it. Bobby said, "Damn it, let me handle it." And you got the hell out of the way. You let you let Bobby take care of business, man. But yeah, well, be live. We missed Scotty D, but with that being said, that about does it for another episode of the Sports Bros podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, please continue to rate, review, subscribe. You know where to find us. Hey, but if you're watching us, click that link tree link and follow us all over social media as well too. Be live. Where you gonna be at this week, man?
Oh man, the woodpeckers are away, so I'm just doing my normal karaoke situationals. I do have a football game this Saturday. The Fayetteville Commandos against the Asheville Bears. So, this is the last game of the regular season before we head somewhere for
Playoffs.
playoffs,
You just started the
playoffs.
season. Playoffs.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it'll be a home game, so be here in Fayetteville this Saturday at 7 o'clock. Wednesday through Saturday, I'll be doing some karaoke, and I'll also be stepping in during office hours at the Woodpeckers, doing some things for the next homestand next week. So, staying busy. Oh yeah, doing what it do, baby.
Finally get my life together. The shingles has gone away. My forehead probably can't see it, but looks a whole lot better. Still big as hell, but it's still there. My eyes doing a little bit better, so I cut back on my medicine some, so that way the doctor's like, look, just take this pill, this pill, this pill, stretch out over 3 days, continue the drops. You should be good to go. So yeah, it's a good sign when I ditch the shades.
Right.
So yeah, I just got to quit babying this thing and just got to be like, all right, get this bright light shining back in your face, and so
Mm.
get used to it. And with that being said, and then in closing, do something nice for yourself, and if you can, do something nice for someone else. They greatly appreciate it now more than ever. Be a blessing, not a burden. This is your favorite sports podcast, none other than the Sports Bros podcast. Continue to rate, review, subscribe, show love, support, tell your best friends, tell your haters, tell people you ain't talked to in 10 years about this here podcast. Be live. Take us home.
Yes, sir. 341, baby. Oh yeah.
And counting. We ain't done yet. Take care. See you next week.